Erik Voss is here. He's blessed us with another Loki breakdown, episode 2 of Loki. Here we go. Is he going to talk about the things we were wondering last episode? Is she Lady Loki? Is she Enchantress? Enchantress. Hello, I cannot speak. We got to speedrun this right now. 22 minutes. There's going to be so much in here. Episode 2 had so much hidden details in some monitors in the background, in the library, in notes, and everywhere. This is going to be crazy. Okay, here we go.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and this is a breakdown of Loki episode 2, which does not bode well for our future. Well, that of the sacred timeline, or our own
it does not.
Environmental doom. The extinction of swallows? Are you kidding me? We couldn't save the birds. As always, there were so many hard to spot details hidden throughout this episode.
Yeah,
so
oh my gosh, so many.
Shot by shot for everything you might have missed.
Miss Minutes, I completely forgot she's a hologram.
Loki-inspired merch options.
She's alive at the same time.
Loki Out of Time. You can get this at newrockstarsmerch.com. We open on a Renaissance fair in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, 1985. The year time travel fiction really climbed to new popularity with the release of Back to the Future. Notice how
I gotta react to Back to the Future sometime. I don't remember it, but I'm pretty sure I've seen like the first one when I was little.
Telling us that the TVA frame of reference for us is the current MCU present year of 2024. Hunter C20 tracks the Loki variant to this green tent with a golden sign out front for a miniature pony, green and gold of course being Loki's colors, but also coincidentally crossing in front of the temp pad is this blonde woman. Doesn't look like Sophia DiMartino, but they are looking for someone who
she looks
like
way
Loki
older
when they really should be looking for someone who looks like that. So this episode ultimately reveals the
Yeah.
variant to be a female, played by Sophia DiMartino, perhaps Lady Loki from the comics, which is a reincarnation of Loki's soul in a new female body. Though, if you look closely to alternate language dubs in the
Yeah, I
comics,
saw
she's
this on
credited
Twitter.
as Sylvie, which could be for Sylvie Lushton, aka Enchantress.
Yeah, and she
Sylvie
used
is a girl
Enchantress
in
powers too. He said you're using enchanting spells, so I mean, it's probably Enchantress.
It's later suggested she might have been wholly created by Loki as a kind of joke. I suspect this show might be combining elements of Sylvie with Lady Loki, but since this show for now considers her
mix
Loki
match
variant, I'm just gonna call her Lady Loki here. Bonnie Tyler's 1984 song "Holding Out for a Hero" is queued up with the recording.
That was sick. Holding out for her, yeah.
Loki take the time to audio edit a recording?
I don't think so. I think it's just like perfect timing in the timeline.
Holding Out for a Hero already the music this 1985 Ren Fair had queued up? Either way, this is some real Joker shit that tells us this Lady Loki has a flair for the dramatic and is willing to take her time tinkering with electronics. And the prize being the princess sets up our Loki as the hero we're holding out for, chasing his princess, all while I think evil is actually something else.
Erik always got these big brain ideas.
Wanda Maximoff's illusion curse is a similar look
ideas of what everything can mean, I mean.
But here the spell is mind control, something Loki previously could only do with the Mind Stone in the scepter, but we will soon learn from Mobius.
She seems a lot more powerful than Loki.
Powers. The close-up of the temp pad shows icons.
He was getting jealous during the episode too.
Miss Minutes. Again, Miss Minutes is a selectable function as she is on the elevator.
Yeah.
Maybe at any given moment they can unleash her as a weapon or kind of sound an alarm. Speaking of whom, he asks if Miss Minutes is
she's probably not even that scary.
Alive.
Are you recording or are you alive?
But all of us are just thinking she is, maybe.
Yeah, he tries to swat her, and the fact that Miss Minutes goes to the effort of dodging these confirms she exists in the real world.
Yeah, and then she enters the computer.
And you can hear her shoes making noises.
Watch it. Where's your man?
Yeah. She looks straight out of Cuphead. I love it.
That is not nice.
And at one point she stands on the hourglass, which remember is the symbol at the heart of the TVA.
Does it move? Does anything on the desk move?
She could have some authority over the TVA. Like I theorized, she might be linked with the Timekeepers, kind of the way the Kree Supreme Intelligence is a reactive AI that controls that society.
Oh
now,
yeah.
On the screen is a multiple choice
I completely
question.
forgot.
Thanos has 2 apples. He eats both, but realizes he wants more. He goes back in time 20 minutes and eats the apples again. Does
no
this
way.
mean the apples will not have existed in the timeline he left? A, no, because time is constantly happening. B, the question doesn't matter because
oh my gosh, I gotta answer this.
Change another time branch. Or C,
I didn't really pay attention to the question.
Because the grandfather paradox already accounted for the change in matter before its move. Love it. All 3 options are explanations we have heard in time travel fiction before, like A being our approach, time is just always happening. C being our this always happened approach, in which things are what they are meant to be in the future, and B being the correct answer within Loki's logical framework, in which branch timelines cannot affect other branch timelines timelines, they each play out in real time independently. This is actually the point.
Yeah, I completely understand the branch timelines now. That this episode explained it pretty well.
And I love how it uses rewinding apples, the example Doctor Strange used to display time travel, and reminds us that Thanos died hungry. Also shows that the TVA knows who Thanos is and apparently considered his genocide just part of the sacred timeline. Mobius shows some other Loki variants, including a blue one. Remember, Loki's natural frost giant form is blue skin. He's variant L1247, but when you punch up to close-up, it changes to 6792. And variant L1247 shows Loki as a cyclist having gone to France.
The Loki or Team Loki right there.
Appears to be L6792.
That's crazy.
Bearded Loki L8914 with natural black horns, and then a Loki with a more traditional Viking armor L7803.
That one looked kind of cool.
Mobius says each Loki has a different power.
I want to see
set,
the gammed up Hulk Loki. That looks cool.
Projection. Though Loki corrects him, saying that there's a distinction between illusion projection and duplication casting. Illusion projection being like when Loki projected shape-shifted forms of Cap and Odin over himself, or when he projected Thor's severed arm in the Dark World. Meanwhile, duplication casting being
I always forget about Dark World.
Alternate doubles of himself.
I'm pretty sure I enjoyed it too, though.
Loki's power set helps set up Loki's sorcery as far more diverse than we realized. For example, him using telekinesis to summon a room.
I saw that. That's the only magic he used, though. And then he fought him with a vacuum, which was kind of weird.
Talking doesn't work on Mobius and the others. They end up using a reset charge on the tent, this time giving us the close-up of it. It looks like the main chamber containing this orange fluid, but then the charge releases an upper chamber of purple fluid that mixes until it reaches a saturation.
But then they also have orange and purple batons that do different things, so
resets everything within the radius.
It's so weird. Maybe they could have an orange setting on them too.
And antimatter that mix together, and that collision undoes the fabric of the nearby reality. And as we see,
it just resets it. Yeah.
Screen, other past branch locations tick past, including Nidavellir, that's the armory realm where Thor met Eitri and acquired Stormbreaker in Infinity War, and Sakaar, that's the trash planet of Thor Ragnarok where Loki, Thor, Banner, and Valkyrie escaped. So even though it seemed like the TVA was Earth-specific from the animation last episode, they actually oversee all the planets in the known MCU universe. Renslayer's office has a statue of Timekeeper Ast centered right behind her seat, just like in the courtroom, and just like in the final shot of the end credits, we now begin in close-up on this one. Also notice that Zork and Vanth are holding hourglasses,
they're holding,
but Ast's arms are outstretched in kind of a saintly pose. Mobius even begins to say something about
suspicious.
the odd one out, but Renslayer cuts him off.
Although I shouldn't say that. That one looks like he's got
The timekeepers are monitoring.
Oh yeah, I did notice that. I think I kept that in.
These are more clues that this timekeeper in particular might
Even Mobius is doubting they're even real.
Mobius points out other mission trophy artifacts like a snow globe, and you can later see it reads San Diego. Renslayer says,
"You're not the only analyst
San Diego
working for me."
Yeah, Mobius brings up this other analyst a few times, including this pen from Franklin D. Roosevelt High School.
I don't remember this. This must be from that analyst you keep on the side.
Yeah, Mobius seems a bit jealous of this mystery analyst, so let's all keep an eye out for some other analysts that might be in the shadows. Notice how Mobius does not use a coaster, leaving more ring stains on that table. The end credits actually show a ring stain on his chronomonitor handbook. So here's another possible clue. Like maybe the
that looks so much like Portal.
Leaving these ring stains is because this other analyst is a variant of him. Just like Loki is one of many Lokis in
Oh my gosh, was that a comic cover with multiple Mobiuses?
His own future existential crisis. Notice how Renslayer signs a report R Slayer, a little tease showing us she's not afraid to get her hands dirty, and Mobius signs MMM since his full name is Mobius M. Mobius. And I love the always
what does the M stand for?
Like notice the third quarter is the same
Mobius
set
again?
as the first one that they walked down. Like the set designers just doubled it up, maybe as a way to make Loki seem lost and helpless in the TVA. Now the elevator's descent was shot
I'd be
in the
lost.
real
That
life
place
Atlanta
is
Marriott
literally an
Marquis,
infinite void.
But as the camera tilts down, you can see how they actually recomposited the lower levels with those big timekeeper statues and the bookshelves of the TVA archives. Loki reads a report talking about the variant's destruction of Central California oil fields. If you look closely,
Oh, that
this
was
would be
the
another
episode
oil
1
field that she destroyed after that one in Oklahoma last episode.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe she genuinely is trying to reverse the impact of climate change. In the background of this library setting, you can actually see the floors behind Loki reading.
She's doing something big, but she's doing it with
all of these correspond to floors in the elevator.
prune
Well,
devices.
one of them is 372, which could be a nod to Thor 372, which is the first comic appearance of the Timekeepers. The librarian shuts Loki down, saying the creation of the TVA, the beginning of time, the end of time, these are all classified. Just another sign that TVA
Mike
narrative commissions video
Wazowski.
about the history of the Timekeepers may or may not be the full story. So Loki reads the report on the destruction of Asgard, as we saw in Thor Ragnarok. Listed here as a Class 7 apocalypse, total planetary destruction, 9,719 deaths, which would be the entire civilization minus the refugees who escaped on the Statesman. And you can also see codename Revengers, which is the team name.
Oh, I didn't see that.
In Ragnarok.
Has it got a name?
That's funny.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like how he looks at the look at the camera right there.
Because I'm getting revenge. You're getting revenge. And
The
you're
Revengers.
What do you want revenge?
I'm undecided.
But before we continue, thanks to
Undecided.
Blue Box for sponsoring this video. See, a
Blue
long day of
Box.
staring
Yeah, I want to hear his theory on what exactly the pruning devices are doing, because she sent so many to so many different branches, and somehow they're creating, or just to the sacred timeline. She's just sent them all to the sacred timeline, but they're creating branches in the reality. So, but why? Because they just reset things. So there's no way they can like create a branch unless maybe she's sending them to different times, and people are getting their hands on them and using them in certain ways. I don't know. But all they do is reset things. They can't like create a branch. But maybe she's sending them to the exact moment like other Minutemen go to branches to fix the timelines, and it's resetting and disintegrating the Minutemen. So maybe they can never reset those branches, if that makes sense. I don't know.
So Loki deduces from lack of variance energy detected that their killer must be hiding in historical apocalypses, which end those societies anyway. Creating this example of ruining Mobius' salad and stealing Casey's Boku fruit juice, kind of like Jasta, another beverage from the 90s that you cannot get anymore. He also mentions maybe pushing Hulk off the Rainbow Bridge, which Bruce Banner very nearly does during that final battle. Loki's mind may also
forgot about that.
because Hulk having to descend the stairs was what led to Tony fumbling the Tesseract and allowing Loki to escape in a branch timeline. Loki brings up other possible apocalyptic events.
It could be a tidal wave, it could be a meteor, it could be a volcano, a supernova.
Yeah, we actually see two of those huge waves from the hurricane.
They need to ride a jet ski on the tsunami.
So we may also see
They're gonna do that by the
a
end of
supernova as
the show.
Apocalypses on this show, like that
Oh.
interplanetary calamity teased
Oh,
in
yeah.
footage. So they visit the destruction of
completely forgot about
79 AD.
all the places
We
they're gonna
actually
go in
see
the trailers.
Roman numerals on the wall there as well. Here, Loki tests creating chaos by releasing these goats.
Be free, my horned friends, be free!
Yeah, Loki calls them his horned friends, referencing his own horns. The horns of all variant Lokis, maybe foreshadowing the way he will let other.
And now this
horned
Christian
friends go
Facebook group's
free.
thinking this
Loki
promotes
talks about his
Satanism.
love of jet skis.
In the early 1990s, for a brief, shining moment, there was a beautiful union of form and function, which we call the jet ski.
As a Floridian
jet
can
ski.
confirm, jet skis are peak form of transportation. Like you can imagine a rule-confined TVA agent must love the idea of a solo piloted craft where you can wander freely without any speed limits or traffic lines you have to stay within.
This is the scene
don't
we
see
need at
this
the
with
end.
Noah Jet Ski by the end of the series, we will riot.
Yeah, we
Like
will.
The comparative absurdity of their origin stories. Timekeeper space lizards versus Norse mythology.
And it's real because I believe it's real.
Actually, later Marvel Comics linked the Asgardian mythology with the Celestials by saying Asgardians are aliens in a certain celestial mutation cycle in which the beliefs of those they protect map onto them, in this case, the Norse people of Midgard. Mobius explains that the TVA protects what came before, while the Timekeepers untangle the sacred timeline's epilogue from its infinite branches, and that once they're finished,
No more Nexus events, just order, and we meet in peace at the end of time.
this would mean that
Boring.
Nexus events are accidents that only occur because the sacred timeline isn't yet woven tightly enough by the Timekeepers.
Yeah, it's not.
So
There also
they
wouldn't be all these
dictate
different
which random
Lokis and
strands need to be clipped in
different
order
versions
to
of
make
everyone.
The rope that stretches endlessly into the future perfectly.
They must be
tight.
fixing
And
so
once
many
that
different
process
points
is
of time.
complete, then they all meet at the end of
Constantly.
time.
Like, they probably don't
Mobius
sleep in the
remembers
TVA.
that Bluey
I don't
gum
know.
From episode 1.
Candy.
They just work
Candy
all day.
on Asgard?
Yeah, grapes, nuts.
Oh, you're so bitter.
Actually, remember when Loki posed as Ode on Asgard, he snacked on grapes while watching that play. Since that gum was only sold on Earth from 2047 to
That's all they got in
2041,
Asgard.
they look at various disasters like the climate disaster of 2048, the tsunami of 2051, the 2050 extinction of the swallow, and the 2049 eruption of Krakatoa, which is a volcanic island in Indonesia that erupted.
What
in
was that bird one that
1883
just flashed by?
and apparently will erupt again. Yeah, quite a bleak picture for Earth in the coming 30 years. Can't wait. But they zero in on the Rockstars disaster, Class 10 apocalypse, when a Category 8 hurricane hit Haven Hills, Alabama in 2050.
Loki, don't predict it. Don't predict it.
Town annihilated, 10,835 humans dead, but planetary body intact, meaning there are worse calamities coming where the planet will be destroyed. With a reference to another case file,
only 10,000 dead. That's not.
Happens. Now, Category 8 hurricane is.
There's probably much worse that comes.
The scale really only goes up to
Thanos was a big one.
Meaning future meteorologists must adjust the scale for increasingly powerful storms due to the rise of global ocean temperatures. Now, Rockstars with the 2 X's is a nod to Roxxon.
Yeah, I pointed that out because we just heard about Roxxon and Daredevil. We're watching Daredevil, by the way, on the channel if you want to go watch that.
With massive Costco-style superstores, because why not branch out into retail, right? By the way, another Marvel corporation, Advanced Idea Mechanics, AIM from Iron Man 3, actually made a little cameo in episode 1 as the maker of the shovel from the year 2222. So Mobius gives
Pointed that out.
his dagger.
I mean, the shovel. I didn't know it was made by AIM. That's cool. I thought it was a lightsaber at first.
They have to time Wunmi's entrance perfectly so that she'll be right there to snatch them a second later. I just love when you can see the effort the actors and the director go into good old-fashioned comedic timing just via blocking. So Haven Hills 2050 is revealed with this electronic billboard of the peaceful seaside town with rocks on smokestacks polluting the sky, which of course leads to the climate disaster that's
it's so bright and
so that this billboard blows
Haven Hills over there, and then it's just
true status right behind.
destroyed by Roxxon.
Beachfront now washed way in, tons of flooding, structures collapsing, buildings exploding. This has got to be my favorite disaster imagery of any Marvel title I can think of, because it's not at all caused by
I pointed that out. It looks really good.
It's just
I mean, Marvel always has such good effects.
It also neatly reflects this series' production design of futuristic elements being destructive and toxic and crappy, while the retro design of the TVA seems perpetual.
So that's all meant to happen to Alabama in the future of the MCU. If we ever make it to 2050, is it gonna happen again? Or everything's messed up now because of the multiverse?
Light up reading, "Welcome, can I help you?" Also in the break room, there is a poster reading, "A great place to work, a great place to shop, everything you need for happiness." Yikes. That shopper is buying azaleas because of a hurricane sale.
It's not their fault.
These must be common enough that
they couldn't predict this storm.
Sales events around them. But this guy turns out to be a Lady Loki drone, and he transfers his consciousness to B-15, and then to that employee Randy, and then finally to this Haas. And like C-20, B-15 wakes up from Lady Loki's possession shivering, coming back from some curse.
Yeah, I didn't leave that in. Maybe I did.
Loki where the timekeepers are, meaning that
I was like, why is she so scared? What's happening? Did she enter her mind or something and like figure something out about the timekeepers?
So it is confirmed. Sophia DiMartino is playing a female Loki variant, most likely Lady Loki. Now in the comics, Lady Loki is not really an alternate timeline variant, but Loki's disembodied soul after Ragnarok reincarnated into a female body. However, that still might be the case here, since this Loki can transfer her soul into new bodies. She may just be a human female that Loki's soul decided to stay in. But also notice that one of the horns on her crown is broken off. Could
just like in the comics though, right? Yeah, right there.
Or a reflection of how she might not consider herself a true Loki, the way she told Loki not to call her that. She may be someone with a Loki-style curse.
She wanted to be called Randy or something.
She might be telepathic because
because the dude's name.
Closely, you can hear Tom Hiddleston's voice echoing in that.
Yeah, but I thought she was playing that on the radio or something. Maybe not. Maybe Eric's onto something. They were in the audio section, so I thought all the radios were going off.
Timeline, creating branches throughout time and space.
Or the audio aisle, I guess.
A lot of the dates and locations. We gotta break these down. Actually, first in the Chrome Monitor room, you can see Nowhere. That's a severed celestial head location in the Guardians of the Galaxy. And then Barcelona. And then below, Niflheim. That's the Asgardian realm that Hela was believed to be exiled in.
Oh gosh, so much is gonna happen.
And then onto Renslayer's screen, you see August 3rd, 1522, Phong Nha, Vietnam. March 31st, 1492, Lisbon, Portugal. Perhaps something related to Columbus's Atlantic voyage that year. April 23rd, 23.
What is gonna happen?
Vormir's the resting place of the Soul Stone seen in Infinity War and Endgame. April 23rd was Infinity War's release date in 2018. October 25th, 1551.
The New York one, I'm guessing, is gonna be like Spider-Man crossing over or something.
And then February 16th, 2004, Asgard. So the home of Loki and Thor. Thor 8 years or so prior to the events of the first Thor film. October 3rd,
Yeah.
1390, Rome, Italy.
Was anyone like born on that day or what?
Drama there.
We know nothing
August
about
13th,
2004 Asgard.
1984, Sakaar Teo. So again, Sakaar from Thor Ragnarok. Teo is the name of its star system. 1984 could have been during the reign of one of those past arena champions that we saw on the outside of the building.
Oh yeah, it's like the two-headed Thanos right there.
Barikara, Colombia. July 17th, 1700.
And then Ego.
December 17th, 1382. Ego, as in Ego the Living Planet, showing that, yeah, this guy was planting seeds around the galaxy for over 700 years before he met Peter's mother. October 13th, 1982, Titan. Titan, of course,
and there were some leaks about Spider-Man No Way Home that Ego was going to be in it, but there's so many leaks and so much stuff is probably false, and I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore.
September 21st, 1947, New York, New York. I was thinking Cap's return date in Endgame, but I think that was confirmed to be 1948. March 1st, 1984, Tokyo. January 3rd, 51 AD, Hala. Hala is the Kree homeworld seen in Captain Marvel. They reached peak evolution years before humanity did. So this
I always forget the Kree Earth thing.
History. August 2nd, 1999, Kingsport, Tennessee. September 24th,
just think of the
2001, Xandar. Now Xandar is the
Skrulls.
Nova Corps seen in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Xandar.
November 23rd, 2005, Beijing. July 18th, 1903, Madrid. And then above the time doors, you can also see Portland in 2004 and Jotunheim. Jotunheim is Loki's home realm, land of the frost giants. Now I plan to
there's too much Eric. I don't know what to think. My brain is so full of Marvel right now.
So I'll be digging into that in a separate video coming out tomorrow. We end with Renslayer grabbing her staff,
Okay.
likely realizing that the variant's real plan is to flush out TVA agents, leaving it undefended so that she can get to the Timekeepers. And that's probably where Lady Loki is headed now, with Loki close behind, either to stop her or to join her, but in either case,
I don't think he's gonna join her.
Of the sacred timeline. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss.
Follow him.
Rockstars. Subscribe to New Rockstars for everything Loki.
Cool,
Thanks
we
so
learned a
much.
lot.
Bye.
Okay, thank you, Erik Voss. I left a like. This video just came out, but I have to leave right now, so I won't be able to edit it right now. It'll probably come out later tonight or tomorrow. So he is on the train that this actually is Lady Loki, while Twitter is going crazy at anyone that calls this Lady Loki. Comment sections are going crazy. Everyone thinks this is Enchantress, and there are a lot of hints that it is. I know nothing about Enchantress. I know nothing about Lady Loki. I probably shouldn't speak on who I think it is, but it feels like they're telling us it's Lady Loki. But at the same time, they said she's using enchanting powers, and her name in those credits were the name of Enchantress. So it's looking, I don't know. I'm believing it's Enchantress, but maybe a hybrid, like Eric said. It could be a hybrid Enchantress mixed with Lady Loki together. But yeah, so I'm guessing from this episode that like the multiverse of madness is happening. It started right here. Maybe more will happen later, but it seems like so many different places in the sacred timeline, even Vormir, like so many places have just been hit with, well, Minutemen are teleporting to all those places to try to go fix the branches, but there's too many. They probably can't stop it. One or more of them are going to redline and create other realities. If they redline and they go too far past the setting point of the prune devices, then those become actual other multiverses. So some of those multiverses could be fixed by some Minutemen, maybe, but I'm guessing most of them are just gonna branch off and do crazy things. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know, but thank you, Erik Voss, for the breakdown. I'm glad he is with us riding. If we don't see Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston riding a jet ski at the end of this show. If you guys enjoyed my reaction to his breakdown, go leave a like on his video first off, because I'm reacting to his video, so you should go subscribe to him, leave a like on him first. Feel free to like this video, subscribe to me if you want, dislike it if you dislike it, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.